Hi there, Kwesi Millington, speaking coach here, and today I'm going to talk about what we can learn from Game of Thrones when it comes to speaking. Now, this speech is from Tyrion Lannister, who's in the show. If you don't know the show, watch it. It's a great show. And over the next minute, there's 3 speaking tips that you're going to pick up on, and I'll explain them after you watch the clip.
All right. How about the fact that this is actually happening? You have your armies, you have your ships, you have your dragons. Everything you've ever wanted since you were old enough to want anything. It's all yours for the taking. Are you afraid? Good.
As you watch that clip, here are 3 tips to remember when it comes to speaking that relate to what you just watched. First is pronunciation. I know we're moving to a more conversational style of speaking as speakers. However, there's nothing wrong with fully pronouncing your words when you speak. 'Cause is not because. Member is not remember. At times you'll see speakers truncate these words. I remember when. Member is not a word. Well, member is a word, but remember is the proper word for that sentence. Sometimes we speak conversationally when we are on stage, and that's okay. But remember to pronounce your words. If you watch every season of Game of Thrones, they pronounce every single word they say. Second is pose a question. You'll notice that Tyrion posed a question and it got Daenerys to really think about her life and her answer. When you stand on stage and you pose a question to your audience, you connect with them. You pull them off from wherever they may have drifted off to mentally, and they're back into your speech. They are thinking about their own lives, and when they do that, they think about your message even more. How can you pose a question every few minutes just to really keep your audience engaged with your speech? And finally, pause. He didn't ask the question and then just keep talking. He asked the question, and yes, he waited for an answer from her. You wouldn't. On stage, you would just get responses based on what they do when they look at you. But wait for that. Wait for that nodding. Wait for that moment of reflection when they're thinking about their own lives. And you can see it in their eyes if you give them enough time. Give them a few seconds to really ponder your question. Let it sink in. And you'll see that acknowledgement of, yes, in my life, I remember the answer to the question you just asked. The pause is so important when you speak. Pause long enough to answer the question in your own head and then move on with your speech. Remember those 3 tips from Game of Thrones, and if you have a day or a week, watch a few episodes. It's a great show.